Well, spring is here, and I am still enjoying this spinach that I planted in the fall of 2016. And I'll leave a link at the end of this video so that you can see how I grow spinach. I did a video on that for you. I think it was last year or the year before. So not only am I enjoying it this time of year, but the slugs have found my spinach beds. So I want to go ahead and get some of the nice, beautiful leaves out of here before everything is devoured. As a matter of fact, I might just cut all of the spinach back down and discard the damaged leaves and then treat for slugs and see if I can get another harvest out of it. So I'm going to make creamed spinach, which is one of my favorite dishes, but instead of using onions and garlic, which is what I normally use, I'm going to use ramps. And those of you who live here in the mountains, you know these are everywhere right now. This is a wild edible that has a wonderful garlic onion flavor, so I thought it would be a great mild substitute for spinach because sometimes garlic can be a little bit overpowering in creamed spinach, and this turned out great. So I wanted to make sure to show you guys this recipe. If you do not have ramps in your area, which is a very short-lived seasonal item, you can also use a clove of garlic along with about a third to a half cup of sweet onion. Okay, so here are the ingredients if you'd like to jot them down. They'll also be below the video if you'd like to print them out, or as always you can do a screenshot with your mobile device. So here are my ramps. I went ahead, I cleaned them up, and I removed just the very tip of the root end. I have some whole nutmeg, of course I have some salt, I have the cheese along with the milk and some flour and butter. And I cleaned and stemmed my spinach just like I showed you in the pesto recipe. I just pulled the stem right out of the back of the spinach. And so I want to quickly cook the leaves. I love how blanching vegetables does not overcook them, and you still have a lot of the nutrients left in there, because I'm only cooking these in very hot boiling water for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then I want to cool them off in some ice water. And this is simply a colander. I have it on top of ice cubes with water, and I can submerge those leaves to stop them from cooking, but then I don't have all the ice cubes, you know, all in the spinach, and I have to pick them out. I just found that this is easier for me. So I want to remove some of the water. I went ahead, I did all the spinach this way. I also want to go ahead and do the ramp leaves. So I cut off the leaves of the ramps just to blanch those. I'll put those in with the spinach, and then I reserved the stem and the bulb end of the ramps. I will chop those up, and I'll use those like I would use onions and garlic in a traditional creamed spinach recipe. I'll go ahead and add my leaves to my spinach, and now we can start on our white sauce. So with 1 tablespoon of the butter, I will go ahead and just gently cook the ramp stems and bulbs along with a good pinch of salt, and I'm cooking this on about medium-low heat, and I just want to soften these up a little bit till they start to smell fragrant. And I turned down my heat to low because now I want to go ahead and put the sauce together. I'll put in my other 2 tablespoons of butter, melt that real well, and then we can begin to add our flour. And I love this little whisk. This is a gravy sauce whisk, and it makes my sauces and gravies always very smooth. I'll leave a link below the video if you'd like to check it out. It's available on Amazon. So we'll cook our roux here for about 2 minutes just to get that flour taste out. And now I can slowly begin to add my milk, whisking as I go. And I'm just slowly adding about a 1/4 cup at a time on low heat. I just keep whisking it to make sure that it's nice and smooth and lump-free. You want to make sure that you have this salty enough because that spinach really is going to need some salt. So I'm also going to add a little bit of the white pepper here. So we'll give a taste for seasoning, and it is perfect. And now I'm just going to grate in just a little bit of that nutmeg. Not much because it can be overpowering. Now I just want to go ahead and add the cheese, and this is just like a Italian cream cheese. It's much softer, and I think it adds a wonderful delicate flavor to the cream spinach. So you can find that in your specialty cheese section at your grocery store. Most places will have a little tub of it. And now we'll just remove the excess water from the spinach, and I want to give it a good chop. My spinach leaves are pretty cold at this point. Now I'm going to warm this up the next day for our dinner, and I'm making this late in the evening. So my sauce has cooled off just a little bit. Now if you're going to go ahead and make this and serve it immediately, you can go ahead and put that on your stove top and just warm it all up together for about 5 to 6 minutes, okay? The sauce will thin out a little bit when you warm it up. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a quick taste here, even though it's a little bit cool. I don't care. I'll just go ahead. I love cream spinach. It's so good. And it's a very easy side dish to warm up for the next day. So there you go. I hope you can give it a try. The ramps are wonderful. If you have those right now, I highly encourage using them in a cream spinach recipe. And as always, please feel free to share this on your favorite social media. I sure would appreciate it. As always, thanks so much for watching, and y'all have a beautiful day.